This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
So there is a system in our body that is so important, so impactful, basically gets rid of a lot of the toxins in our body. I'm far from the expert, but that's what I know. But we don't even talk about it. Well, okay, let's look at it this way. You know about your lymph nodes, right? When you were a kid, the doctor, around your neck, those are really big lymph nodes. And if they're swollen, hey, you may be sick. How do they all drain? That would be the lymphatic system in your body. And there's also massage to take care of that and support that. We're going to talk with somebody today who practices that and so much more with Gifted Hands. That's the name of her practice. She is Cecia Williams, and she's back with us. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Really good. And isn't this an incredibly important system within our bodies?
Yes, it is. It's one of our natural organ systems. So going back to that holistic approach, it's something God naturally put in us because he knew, hey, all these chemical combustions happening, we got to get rid of it somehow.
So let's start with what the heck this whole thing does, the lymphatic
Yeah.
system, and then we'll get into the drainage part, achieved through massage.
Okay, so most of your body is made up of 99% connective tissue. Even now they're now calling bone connective tissue is just harder. So basically the lymph system is a organ system that happens predominantly in your skin, under your skin, and it removes any waste and interstitial spacing, and it puts back into the body protein that gets sucked out with that use of the waste. So like, okay, say for instance, you move your arm. Well, just that contracting and releasing of that muscle produces a chemical combustion. And when that's done, there's waste. Like every time, anytime you breathe, anytime. So like your body is constantly making waste. And so the lymph system filters that waste to go back into what needs to be put back into the body in the circulatory system. And then what needs to be taken out is pumped through the liver and kidneys. And either you naturally excrete it through using the restroom.
Cecia, you have just blown my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I knew it was important. I knew that, we have toxins, stuff that we need to release from our body. I got that.
Hmm.
However, I didn't even consider every movement, everything we do produces maybe some waste that needs to
Yes.
get flushed out of the body. I mean, look at a car driving, you have the exhaust, you step on the gas, more exhaust
Yep.
comes out. Wow.
Yes. And so it really have to, like, when I was sitting in class, because see, when I first got onto lymphatic system, I have a spiritual grandmother of mine who has diabetes, and she's suffering from kidney failure, stage 4. And so, a lot of stuff happening, a lot of inflammation, and her legs would swell up really bad. So she would always love for me to rub her legs. And so I got into massage school and I heard about the lymph and it attacking the inflammation in the body naturally, simply by how you stretch and manipulate the skin. And I was like, you know what? That's really interesting. And then when I got into class, like the amount of information and how diffusion just really on another level of homeostasis in the lymph system and
Mm.
the balance of that in the body really affects your tissue. Like, for instance, your body can hold up to 2,000 pounds of tissue pressure. So, most times when you're experiencing inflammation, even though you don't see physical swelling,
Mm.
you're inflamed. And so that lymph system got to cut on and pump that stuff out.
And it's in my understanding that the thing that we eat that causes the most inflammation is sugar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sugar is which is really cool too because like our bodies are basically water sugar factories. So like there's different types of sugar. So the lymph is actually made up of four things. It's made up of dead cells, protein, water, and um long chain fatty acids that we no longer need. And a lot of that fatty acid comes from sugar. So the circulatory system, you have your arterial and your venous side of the circulatory system, and they of course travel to most parts of the body to give your body blood and oxygen. Well, the lymph system follows that same circulatory system to pump out those waste products throughout the body regularly, based off of your circulatory system. And so, depending on how fast your heart pumps or how slow it pumps, this also can affect the diffusion of inflammation, and it can form what we know as lymphedema.
I've heard that
Mhm.
term. Not even sure what it is. How would you describe it?
Okay, so edema is a healthy lymph system that simply has a mechanical issue. So, like for instance, like when you sprain your ankle, ow, it hurts, it gets inflamed, and then you put some ice on it for a little bit, or you let's just walk it off, and the inflammation goes away. So that is a healthy lymph system, simply causing edema or swelling in that area based off of trauma. So anytime your body experiences any type of trauma, anytime it needs to be healed, you will experience swelling because swelling happens. The body creates swelling to heal. So when you sent that ouchie mode to the brain said, "Oh, we need to send white blood cells down there to heal whatever is going on." And so it immediately sends it through fluid. So that's where you get healthy protein swelling. That swelling is protein enriched and is filled with macrophages that heal those areas. And so
Hmm.
if it's healthy and your lymph system is not having any problems, it'll clear that away on its own. But a lymphatic lymphedema problem is a dynamic immune deficiency. So at some point, your lymph system has been broken, the pump has been broken, and no matter how much it's turned on, it will forever be broken. It will always have that damage in the lymph system. And when that happens, that's when you need um, more than just I'm gonna put some ice on it.
Hmm.
Then you have to get your compression garments. You have to start looking at your diet to see what's causing inflammation. And you have to be more proactive and stay on it because it will never go away. And that is what is called lymphedema at that point. It will always be broken no matter, all you can do is maintain
Oof.
and prevent further damage.
My gosh. And on the sugar thing, I heard recently that in terms of evolution, our bodies aren't designed to
Mhm.
drink a can of Coke and
Right.
process that liquid sugar. Like it is a shock to the system. And I also heard this, the amount of sugar that is in that can of Coke, one, just one.
Mhm.
You sip it down, you're done in, maybe 3 minutes tops
Yeah.
or 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of about 30 oranges, but you're also getting fiber and other things from the oranges, vitamin C.
Yeah.
But that's how many, if you wanted to get, and that's natural sugar.
Yep.
It's our bodies are in overload. They're begging for mercy, with
Yeah,
all the
they
garbage that
they
we're putting in
definitely
there.
are. And I can't stress enough to people that what's so sad about lymphedema is that many people have it already right now because of their unhealthy dieting
Yeah.
and trauma induced out here. But you will not see it because it is so slow progressively until you're in your 50s, 60s, or 40s, and you start
Oof.
having all these, your body's starting to slow down. It's just like when you're a kid and you out there in the sun and you don't feel the sun, but then when you get in your 30s, you have all these freckles and skin damage. It's because you were getting affected. You just didn't realize it.
So to your point, and I'm always very transparent,
Hmm.
I got lighter skin, blue eyes, and laid in the sun from my upper teens, 20s, 30s on up. I have minor skin cancer, and in a week and a half, I will have surgery for that area right there. There's an area right there. I had 60 stitches right there in February. I've been dealing with it a little less than half my life. And
Yeah, and how are you healing?
fine, thank you. Yeah, it's all good. I'm
Yeah,
aware of it. Things pop up again. It's almost like, hey, I'm back again. How you guys doing?
yeah.
But later in life, I found out my mom has it. My dad had it, my aunt. And to your point here, that all those things that we did when we were younger, we deal with it later in life. But
Mhm.
interestingly, younger people now are dealing with advanced cases of colon cancer.
Yes.
It's just,
Um, I think that what people need to be more informed about the lymphatic system and the fact that so if, for instance, when you had your surgery,
yeah.
if you would have went and got cleared to get lymphatic drainage, it would have helped with your healing. You would have healed more faster. Your scar wouldn't be so predominant. It heals with it fixes scar tissue because it is only like 1 millimeter under the skin. So a lot of you have to irritate the skin when it's healing in order for it to actually reconnect the collagen.
To your point, you're
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
To your point, I've done this for years, and other people, yeah, the surgeons will tell you this. Massage the incision area. Keep going
Yeah.
at it. And I mean, I healed pretty good. They tell me
Yeah.
you can't even see. That was 60
Yeah.
stitches. There's a little lump in the back there, and that's on me because guess what? I didn't I didn't hit that area enough. And I know it
But
because it was
the
by
the
my
cool
ear.
thing, the cool thing about it is it still can be healed. So all you do is just keep irritating it. That's one of my favorite techniques. It's cupping. And it's a decompression therapy. And there's different types of cups. So when I do cupping for lymphedema, I normally do it around the ninth, 10th week of after post surgical. But
Wow.
what I do is I just simply take my cups and I put them on there and I just move them around, and it's just messing with that fascia, messing with those collagens, and eventually that scarring goes away. I had a lady, I had a really dear client of mine. She's been with me for about 3 years, but when we first started, she had breast cancer and she had serious scar tissue on one of her breasts. And I asked her, "Hey, what are you doing about that?" And she said, "Oh, the doctors told me there's nothing that can be done. It's just gonna always be that way, unfortunately." And I told her I could fix that. And now, like going into our third year of a relationship, after just many times of hers, many sessions, now her breast is healthy, healed tissue
Yep.
where once it wouldn't even move or any of that. It's like a normal healthy tissue. And we just so amazed by it. But
Mm.
lymphedema is so soft. A lot of people think that it has to hurt. It doesn't have to hurt. Lymphedema is literally just manipulation and stretching of the skin to move the lymph along the passages into the deeper lymphatic system. So a lot of times, it's I have to correct people. Lymph drainage is not massage. Massage means to knead. It means to press. It means to really get in there like you're doing dough. And you have to do that with muscle, right? Because we have all those unhealthy things and causing all that tension. But with lymphedema, you have to be light because too much pressure can actually have the exact opposite effect. It closes the valves for the next 24 hours. And you're actually at that point. Once you get the body to shut down those things, you have to wait to get stuff drained. So I always tell people when you get lymph drainage done, just know it's not massage. It's not going to be the same, but it's very effective and it's immediate. So like during a session, for instance, if you're swelling, you got this crazy lump here, and I go to doing lymphatic drainage on you, you will it will disappear literally in that session. and you
Wow.
will have to run to the bathroom. I have a lot of people have to go to the bathroom before the session is even over because the fluid, the draining is ready to come out and it's moving it. It moves fast. It moves fast. And once you cut it on, it'll pump you for the next 24 hours.
I had no idea. And you said
Mm.
cupping, that is addressing the lymphatic system.
Yeah,
Never knew
it
that.
does. Cupping is a very effective modality for scar tissue.
Sure.
Um, is and I tell people too, like they have one lady come to me, and I do a lot of people with 360s and tummy tucks and knee replacements and so forth. And a lot of doctors are very wary, and some will say, don't go get it at all. But I need to
Hmm.
start seeing people within 24 to 48 hours of after surgery because the lymph system flushes out those dead cells that causes those hematomas, causes that bruising, and I'm talking about it will flush that stuff out like in 3 days.
Amazing.
It works so fast. It's crazy. Like every time I do it, it's very humbling and like blow the mind.
I met a woman a couple of years ago, and she was very passionate, like you, about the
Hmm.
lymphatic system. She wanted to write a book just so people understand it more.
Hmm.
She was looking for pictures, diagrams to put in the book. She couldn't find enough of them. There's hardly anything out there.
Hmm.
Would you believe that in her book, and she showed me the pictures with the drawings, they are from hundreds of years ago.
Hmm. So the most so what I do is called the Botter technique. It actually started back in like the 1800s. And the man who found out about it, wife had serious health issues, and he, even though he had his doctorate in like history or something and arts, creative arts, he discovered this, and so like he went around and started, and his name was Votter. His last name was Votter. Don't ask me to say his first name. So but eventually, he got met by another man named Stratson, and he took half of what he created by simply manipulating and rubbing on his wife. He was able to heal her. So lymphatic drainage, because it deals with waste, it helps with pain management. It helps with arthritis. It
Wow.
helps with sleep apnea. It helps with my fibromyalgia. I mean, anything that you have going on, it helps with. I have a lot of people who are going through oncology. It helps bring them pain relief. Um, it is truly like God put in your body a system that when you feel bad, it's like natural medicine, and it's right there in your body just by turning it on.
This is the truth. And
Yeah.
we can heal ourselves. Our bodies can do it automatically for us
Yep.
if we give it what it needs.
Yep.
And there's the right kind of balance in there. And that sounds so easy, but
Yeah.
drink
In
that
the
can of
world we live in, unfortunately, I
yes.
tell people so much, like when you're experiencing inflammation, just incorporate some serious things in your diet. First of all, you need a high protein diet.
Hmm.
You need to drink natural spring water. You need to incorporate turmeric and, oh Lord, ginger. These things, I literally have a turmeric ginger oil that I use on people when doing lymphatic drainage because it helps fight inflammation. The body needs those chemical compounds that are in those things and naturally to
Wow.
soothe you. And so like just to show the effects of how powerful um protein is, because that's what the lymph system mainly is putting back into the body. So you literally drain 240 liters of protein induced water a day throughout the body. It's a natural process. That is what your body uses naturally throughout the day. And so all of that protein is being pushed into those tissues. And a natural lymph system, a healthy one, it naturally, through exercise, through certain deep breathing techniques that activate, there's little things that activate the lymph system. So by you naturally working out, by you naturally doing yoga, doing those breathing techniques, you are turning on your lymph system. And that's why, like, if you ever notice, like someone who's really into yoga, because they have trained their body so well with breathing, they seem always happier and high energy. It's because they naturally pumping their lymph system for they cells. And so you get someone who doesn't do those things and say they went to surgery, and surgery, anytime you cut into the skin, you are affecting your lymph system, because the lymph vessels are in the skin, right up under the skin. So anytime you have post, that is trauma. So you need to be drained. You need to go ahead and turn that lymph system on.
Wow.
So that protein is being pushed out. It's not moving now because you have to sit down when you've done been through surgery. Most times the doctors tell you don't move, rest, sit down. Well, the white blood cells, all of that is still being pushed there to heal you. And you feel it in so much pain. And half of that is because now that tissue that can hold up to 2,000 pounds of fluid is being stretched to the max. And your lymph system is now being overloaded. So its natural pumping is not enough, and it needs help. So that's where I come in and I perform manual lymph drainage. And by manually pumping you, I can move that fluid up to 60 times as fast a minute, and you drain.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And that's why, so many of us, we equate a massage deep into the muscles. Give me, hey, I'm paying for it. Go in there. Give me
Yeah.
But you don't need to. And just to your point, the lymphatic system so close to the surface of the skin where a light touch is going to get it done. Amazing. I knew you knew your stuff. We're taking it to all new levels here.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
If I was in Alabama right now, I'd be at your doorstep. I would.
Well, I love it. And I love helping people. Um, when you have people come in and they barely can walk, like I just had a recent lady of mine. She had surgery. She had her 360 lipo, and she had a tummy tuck. I mean, she did everything. The
And
breast
oh my
revision.
gosh, that is major what you got going
Yeah,
on there
she did it all.
Yeah.
And man, I didn't know how she came up in here, but she was in here, and I literally saw her for 2 hours, 3 times a week. And in the next 2 weeks, by the time she walked out of my door, in 2 weeks, just 6 sessions of 2 hours, she was standing upright. She had lost like a major amount, drastic amounts of weight because of the fluid being gone, and she just
Wow.
felt better. Like in every session, she was just getting better and better.
I can't even imagine. People have surgeries and they'll go in, do whatever they got to do and out, and it's going to compromise the lymphatic system to a point. With that, the tummy tuck, that type of surgery, that is the surface. They talk
Yes,
about, I don't want to call it damage, but
it is
re
damage. It's
okay.
damage. Call it what it is. We're gonna be transparent. It's
Yeah.
damage to the body. You're self-inducing damage that your body is saying, "Hey, I'm being traumatized. I'm hurting. I need white blood cells everywhere at this point."
And now I'm giving you
Yeah,
inflammation because I need it. Uh,
yeah,
Bisha, amazing. Your website is giftedhandsmassage.org, correct?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
I make you the expert today. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And if you excuse me, I have to go massage my scar. So,
Well, it's a privilege.
oh, thank you so much for all of the info. Um, People looking for information on this, will stumble upon it with keywords and such. And thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah. Thank you. You
Good
have a
stuff.
great day.
You too.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.